Okay guys, here we're going to explain the volume equation, and many of you probably know the volume equation, and it looks very, very messy. A volume equation of a sphere looks very, very messy, and you probably don't know where it comes from. But what I want to imagine is we have a sphere here, and I want to imagine we make the sphere, instead of having a sphere, what we're going to do is maybe we'll have 100 pyramids. Okay, so instead of having a sphere, the sphere will be made up of 100 different pyramids. Okay, and so if you look back in the last unit on my area of a circle video, we're going to use the exact same logic here, and we're going to use two facts. Okay, the first fact is that the surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. Okay, the second fact is the volume of a pyramid equals 1/3 area of the base times height. Okay, we're going to use these two facts to get the volume of a sphere. All right. Now, let's look at our picture here, and imagine we have 100 pyramids that are making up this sphere. Now, we could increase it to more. We could have 1,000. We could have 1,000,000. We could have 1,000,000,000. Obviously, as the number of pyramids gets bigger and bigger and bigger, then that volume, the volume of the pyramids, is going to very, very closely resemble the volume of the sphere, right? So if you had 1 trillion or 10 trillion, pyramids that were making up this sphere, then that would almost be, if you could add up all of those little, pyramids, then that would be very similar to the volume of the bigger sphere. So if we need to think about this, step back for a minute. Okay, so in this case, the volume of the surface area. No, let's go back to the pyramids. Okay, if we look at this whole sphere, okay, the whole sphere is covered by pyramids. Okay, so the whole sphere is covered by pyramids. In other words, the surface area is made up of pyramids. Okay, but not just pyramids, but we're looking at the base of the pyramids. So you can see how in this picture, if we had 100 or 1,000, 1,000,000, 1,000,000,000, if we had all of these bases, basically just represent the surface area, right? So the bases would represent the surface area of the sphere. So we can take the surface area, all right, and we can actually substitute that into this equation. Okay, so our volume of a sphere is going to be 1/3 times 4 pi r squared times h. Well, h in this case, h is going to be the height of the pyramid. So if you look at this pyramid over here, you can see that the height of that pyramid equals r, right? Okay, so all I've done is I've taken these two pieces of information and I've combined them, and this is going to be 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay, so this is 4/3 pi r cubed. And so basically then, let me recap how I got this. Okay, so how did I get this? Well, we took these two pieces of information. We made this sphere many different pyramids. And so these are pyramids. And so what you have to do then is you have to say, okay, well, what is the surface area? What is the surface area of this new sphere? Well, the surface area is going to be the base of these many pyramids. So we can substitute. We know that the sphere is going to be something of this equation, because we know that the sphere is going to be similar to this equation, because as you can see in this picture, we've already made the volume of the sphere into many pyramids. So we take the volume of pyramids, all right, take the volume of pyramids, and then we see, okay, but the base isn't the base, it's actually going to be the whole surface area. We substitute that in. We find out what r is in this case. In this case, r over here is going to be, we find out what h is. H in this case is going to be r. Plug that in, and that's how we get this very ugly looking, seemingly completely arbitrary 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay, so if I want to find the volume, then just a quick example, if I want to find the volume of this sphere, all I have to do is substitute in the radius, which is 3. So volume equals 4/3 pi times 3 cubed. Okay, so the volume is going to equal 4/3 times pi times 27. Okay, 27 divided by 3 is 9. 9 times 4 is going to be 36, so the volume is 36 pi units cubed. All right, in our next video, we're going to look at a few more examples. Hopefully you guys can get this down pretty well. But this is sort of where this complex equation comes from, and I hope you guys sort of understood that process. Thanks for watching.